Picture this: the highly paid superintendent of Iowa's largest school district, drawing a $300,000 salary, celebrated for Olympic achievements and academic accolades, tearing away from ICE agents in his official school vehicle as dawn breaks over Des Moines. Behind the wheel, Dr. Ian A. Roberts is gripping the steering wheel, a loaded handgun tucked at his side, while federal officers and state troopers close in. It's a scene that would be unthinkable for anyone entrusted with the education and safety of 30,000 students, yet it unfolded in real life last week, setting off protests, political debate, and countless questions about how a school administrator could end up in handcuffs under an active deportation order. Just before 9 o'clock in the morning, agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrived at a Southside parking lot next to a Des Moines Public Schools facility. Working under a mutual aid agreement with the Iowa Department of Public Safety, they intended to serve Roberts with a final removal order signed on May 7, 2024. As officers approached his district-owned SUV, Roberts allegedly slammed the accelerator and sped away at a high rate of speed, according to the official DPS report. Less than a mile from the scene, he abandoned the vehicle beside a wooded embankment. When deputies secured the area, they discovered inside the silent SUV a loaded 9mm pistol, roughly $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife, items now central to both the immigration and criminal investigations. By late afternoon, Roberts was booked into Woodbury County Jail on a foreign warrant tied to his immigration status. The roots of this confrontation extend back to 2022 in Erie County, Pennsylvania. While serving as superintendent of a high-performing district in Mill Creek Township, Roberts was stopped by state police for a routine traffic violation. During the stop, officers found a concealed, loaded firearm in his car. He later pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of a loaded weapon in a motor vehicle. For most U.S. residents, this would be a misdemeanor matter, but in the immigration system, firearms offenses trigger immediate removal proceedings for non-citizens without permanent resident status. Roberts, then still on an expired F-1 student visa, suddenly found himself classified as deportable under federal law. An F-1 visa allows international students to pursue full-time studies in the United States, with optional practical training, known as OPT, extending work eligibility for up to a year or 3 years in certain STEM fields. After that, students must secure a different status, such as an H-1B work visa or a green card, if they wish to stay. In Roberts's case, he arrived on an F-1 visa in 1999 and never formally transitioned to a new status, remaining in the country on expired student status for more than 2 decades. His 2022 guilty plea then triggered formal removal proceedings, culminating in the May 2024 final order that ICE agents sought to enforce in Des Moines. Long before any legal troubles, Roberts's life story seemed scripted for success. Born in Georgetown, Guyana, he earned an F-1 visa after high school and enrolled at Morgan State University in Baltimore. There he pursued bachelor's and master's degrees in education and leadership, accolades he later supplemented with a claim of a doctorate, though the university later clarified that no doctorate had been officially conferred. On the track, he represented Guyana at the 2000 Sydney Olympics and competed in world championships around the globe. His athletic prowess and academic drive formed the foundation for a meteoric rise in school leadership. Following graduation, Roberts took on roles as a principal, then chief of schools for California's largest charter network. He returned east as superintendent in Pennsylvania, earning praise for boosting graduation rates and supporting at-risk youth. In 2023, the Des Moines Public Schools Board, relying on routine background and credential checks, appointed him superintendent of Iowa's largest district. At the time, board members insisted they believed Roberts held valid work authorization. His contract offered a $300,000 annual salary to oversee more than 30,000 students across urban and suburban neighborhoods. The fact that Roberts maintained his F-1 status, unextended and unadjusted, for 25 years highlights a glaring gap in the employment eligibility verification process. Under federal regulations, public institutions must complete the I-9 form to confirm that employees are legally authorized to work. Civil penalties can apply if an employer knowingly hires an unauthorized worker. Yet Roberts's continued employment, paired with high-level leadership, underscores how over-reliance on initial checks and delayed status reviews can allow such loopholes to persist unchecked. Despite the change of administrations, removal orders issued by ICE remain in force. Although it was the Biden administration that signed Roberts's final order in May 2024, ICE officers are obliged to carry it out regardless of politics. Agents worked with state and local authorities under mutual aid provisions to take Roberts into custody. After he fled the traffic stop, Roberts faced charges not only for fleeing law enforcement but also for illegal weapons possession as an undocumented individual. His upcoming court dates will address both criminal and immigration matters, determining whether he'll return to the superintendent's office or be sent back to Guyana. News of the arrest sent shockwaves through the community. Within hours, roughly 200 parents, teachers, and civil rights advocates gathered outside the local USCIS office, chanting "Let him stay," and waving signs praising Roberts' 2 decades of service. Supporters pointed to his record of improving schools, mentoring students, and fostering community partnerships. On social media, comments poured in, "Why is a non-citizen running our schools?" Countered by "This man changed lives. Why punish years of dedication?" Opponents, however, condemned the incident as a blatant disregard for immigration law and public safety, especially given the presence of a loaded gun around children's campuses. Roberts' case casts a spotlight on several broader issues that extend well beyond Iowa. First, it underscores the fragility of the immigration employment pipeline. Student visas can become de facto status if not closely monitored, allowing individuals to work long-term without proper authorization. Second, it illustrates how criminal convictions, even at the misdemeanor level, can trigger automatic deportation for non-citizens. Third, it amplifies the tension between policy and compassion. Should decades of community impact outweigh the breach of federal statutes? And finally, it reminds us that enforcement transcends politics. Removal orders persist through presidential turnovers and are binding on federal officers regardless of who sits in the Oval Office. As Dr. Ian Roberts awaits his next court appearances, both for the high-speed escape and possession charges, and for his immigration removal hearing, the future of Des Moines Public Schools hangs in the balance. The district has launched an internal audit of its hiring practices, and local officials face potential lawsuits and legislative scrutiny. For families across Iowa, this saga serves as a cautionary tale about the intersections of ambition, oversight, and accountability. Only time will tell whether Roberts will reclaim his post, mount a legal defense, or return to his homeland. In the meantime, the questions raised by his case will echo in school board rooms and immigration policy debates for years to come.